Okay, it's January the 13th. I'm just sending this video out regarding greens covers, winter weather that's coming in this weekend, just kind of why we are covering greens, timing of covering greens, and just kind of a little bit of education on that. Obviously everyone's seen, a chance of snow, wintry mix late Saturday night into Sunday. Possibly going into Monday morning. Biggest thing is if we get a lot of snow, as far as our turf health, that's not something we're worried about. We don't get snow, obviously, at all. Really, it's been a couple years, but a decent snow. It just doesn't sit around long enough on our turf to affect us. The snow actually, if we did get a decent amount of snow, would act as basically a blanket for our turf. Definitely probably the best insulation under that snow, but we can't predict that. More south of Charlotte where we are, more predictions of rain, sleet, ice. Again, we don't know until that happens what we're going to get, but one of the biggest things, if you look at the forecast for Saturday, highs maybe getting into that 30, 32 degrees. That 30, 32 degrees is about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then it drops. And if you look at the real field temperature, it's down in the teens, and I've even seen 13 as a real feel with possibly 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. It's going to be brutal out here on Sunday. Well, that's going to be brutal for our turf grass as far as our greens. So we are going to need to cover the greens. A couple questions that I can answer here that I've kind of heard. We've had temperatures of 25 this year. Why haven't we covered? Why do we need to cover now? Well, the biggest thing is how long it stays at that temperature. So if we stay at 25 degrees for 3 or 4 hours, we know in the daytime we're getting back up into the 40s and 50s. That soil is warming back up, and we're not staying frozen. Our greens, our Bermuda greens, they can handle that, not have any effects from winter damage, cold damage. But with a forecast on Sunday, once we drop down on Saturday night into the mid to lower 20s, we don't get above 30, 31 degrees for about 24 hours, and the greens can't stay frozen for that long. Otherwise we will see issues, because that soil just will not warm up and they'll stay frozen, and that's when you start to see damage from winter kill. So we have to be conservative on our covering. We are covering tomorrow afternoon. I am not trying to stop people playing golf on Saturday. I am not trying to shut it down. It's just a staffing thing. And definitely we have the covers out this morning, we've got them out, but we don't just throw the covers down as fast as possible and say that's good. Especially with the winds we're going to get, we have to get these tops down correctly. We don't need to be rushing. We need to make sure that they don't blow up. They're in the right positions. We don't have any turf grass exposed to these conditions on Sunday. So that's basically why we're doing that. I've spoke to 3 or 4 superintendents in the area. They're in the same kind of boat of low staff numbers to get it done on Friday. So again, I am sorry that the golf course is not going to be open Saturday, but I am, again, I am not trying to stop people playing golf. We are pretty lucky and fortunate. We've had such great weather to play golf, and then we have not covered greens in 2 years. So this is, hopefully this is a one-time deal. Obviously, we can get more colder temperatures coming in the next couple months, but we've only had to cover them, once in the last couple years. So we're fortunate, and that's the thing we have. We have Bermuda greens. There's a reason we have these covers, and the reason we have the covers is to use them. So again, that's just the way it's falling on the weekend. But again, the turf covers, just to kind of let everyone know, basically the turf cover is going to keep the soil temperature up about 10 to 15 degrees, and that's why we cover the greens. And then also that exposure to that wind, and that cold, maybe in the teens, temperature blowing across. Again, the greens, you know, a tenth of an inch mowing height on the greens. I mean, they are, you know, they're down there, they are exposed, they don't have any cover. Again, we don't raise them up, otherwise you just wouldn't have any kind of playing surface. So they're just under stress. This time of year, they're warm season greens. So again, that's why we're covering. We'll just come over here this morning. There's a bit of a frost delay, but about 32 degrees. They're safe to walk on right now, but I have a temperature gauge in the greens. So we're about 32 degrees air temperature. Soil temperature, see, we're down to nearly, you know, 24 degrees on a day like today. Obviously we have cloud cover, so it's going to take longer for the soil to warm up, but we're already down to there on a, you know, a 32 degree day. We just would not want it to stay down there for a long period, say 8 hours. Otherwise we might see some issues from cold damage. So you can imagine on Sunday, if we're down in the low 20s and we just won't get above freezing, that wind, real feel, and obviously no sunshine, that needle is going to drop down probably towards, I would say, that 0 number. And again, we can't afford that. It's an insurance policy, these covers. So again, you might hear of some golf courses in the area, hey, we're not covering. If they're willing to take that chance, that's on their superintendent. I'm not going to take a risk with, you know, with the biggest asset the club has in protecting your greens. And again, going back to a video earlier in the week of shaded greens are going to struggle more because they're not getting the sun to warm that soil temperature up. So back nine greens, they're going to be more exposed to that cold because they're not getting, you know, that sun warm up for the next couple of days like the others. So they will be, they just need to be covered. And one thing you might see out here today and tomorrow, you might see some areas again on the back nine, just in some weaker spots. We're going to put out you'll see a white cover in some areas. It's not going to affect play. It's just to kind of double protect some areas, kind of a double cover. You know, there's areas being exposed to that, you know, those conditions on Sunday. But again, I can't give you a day that we're going to be reopening these greens. It just depends what we get. Seeing some teens into the forecast next week, so it really depends what happens with that. But we're going to be covering the greens, protecting the greens, making that call myself, as we, you know, I have to protect these greens for you guys. So sorry this is such a long video, but just kind of wanted to get it, you know, get it out there. I am going to put a couple of links from the USGA green section just on covering greens if anyone's interested. Education, you know, of why we do it. We're not just putting covers on it for the sake of it. It's just to protect, again, the biggest asset the club has. And we apologize, but just has to be done. We appreciate it. Thank you.